All right, everyone, we're going to just quickly work these three questions and then we can get to go to our beds, all right? Sorry for keeping it that sorry for keeping it that long, but with the hold on. With the extra wait time that we have to do every time we have to shut down our meeting, um, it kind of gave us some time lag. All right. So for the first one, when you looked at it, what did you use? What did you think we could use for that one? Sine rule or cosine rule? Nobody?
Miss, when I looked at it, I started with the cosine. I thought I could have used the cosine rule,
Mhm.
but going along, I realized that I had to change to the sine rule.
So you use the sine rule. What answer you got?
I'm almost complete with it, not quite yet.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. So um who is it? I think it's Clark. Clark said that she used a sine rule. So let us see what she would have done or could have done. So, yeah, so let's see what she could have done. So this is we can call this A, 75 degrees angle, can call that big A, and so X would be our small a, right? And then the challenge for with using the sine rule, I don't know how Miss Clark did it, but the challenge with using the sine rule is that you only have you don't have well you're going to end up with two unknowns, because to use the sine rule you need either, well, in this case you're asked to find a side, so you're going to need two
Yeah.
angles to find the side.
I realized
Right. So it would work
I got
with the sine rule. However, we can use a cosine rule to
yes.
solve it. So if
Oh,
this
I
is
started working with the cosine rule.
okay. So if this is big A, then this is still little a, this side here. And then we can go ahead and we can say any one of these. This is B and then this is C. So we can try the cosine rule. The cosine rule says A squared equals to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times cosine A. All right. So A here is what we're trying to find. So we can keep that A squared, B squared, 7 squared plus A squared minus 2 times 7 times 8 times cosine, and the angle big A is 75. So 7
This is the
squared,
cosine me use my answer when me get a equal 9.6 when me round it down. 9.16.
9.16.
I got 9.17.
All right, let us see. 9.16, 9.17. Those would both be right. So let us see. 7 squared is what?
9.
49.
Huh?
7
49.
49.
square is 49.
No one gonna bed. No, no, answer me. 8 squared is
64.
64. 2 times 7 is 14 times
You
8,
get 112.
112. Minus 112 times what's cosine 75?
0.258.
0.259. When you
0.259.
run, yes, because the other one to it is bigger, so I'm just run it after 9.
Okay, no problem. All right, so let's go now. 49 plus 64 is 113
Minus.
minus, oh, I don't need to put cosine here, sorry. So we have 112 times 0.259. How much would it be again?
28.896.
28 point.
896.
This is what you got?
No, I got 29.008.
Okay. All right. I got that too. All right. So don't matter what you get. 28.86 or 29. Or let us just call it 29. All right. So this is a squared. So this would give you 83, I think, 0.01, or I think it's 83 since we rounded it up. 113 minus 29 will give you 84. 84, right? Then you have to find the root of both a squared and 84, and the answer would be a squared is equal to, hmm? You never tell me someone get be an answer and something.
Yes, 9.17.
All right, 9.165, 9.17, 9.2, any of those will be correct. All right. So for this one, you had to figure it out. And this one, you could only use the cosine rule. All right. So let's try triangle number 2 now. Let's try triangle number 2.
Fine.
All right. So what did you use for this one? Sine or cosine? I never reached that far.
Didn't reach that far.
All right. So in this one,
Didn't reach that far, but me I use the sign.
you could use a sine because
Two angles.
you have two angles opposite and you have their opposite
One unknown
side,
angle.
right? So let's call this one here. This is big A, angle A. So this would be side A. And then this would be angle B, which is
Angle
the
B.
unknown one. And then this would be side B. So let's work. A over sine A equals to B over sine B. So let's just put in these values now. Small a is 23 over sine
95.
95 equals to 17 over sine B, which is what we want to find the angle B. So cross multiply 17 times sine 95 is equal to sine B times 23. All right, what's sine 95?
95.
0.996.
All right, 0.996, 0.996 sine B times 23. So then 17 times 0.996 would give you
16.94.
16.94. Right. So what this means now is that we can take over this 23 across the equal sign. So we want to get sine B by itself so we can solve for B. And because this 23 is being multiplied over here, when you go further, I don't have any space. I'm going to come up here. So it's going to be divided. So you're going to end up with 16.94 over 23 is equal to sine,
0.74.
right? So all of this here, 16.94 over 23 is 0.74 equals to sine B. So we need B by itself, so we have to carry over the sign. So you're going to have the sine inverse 0.74 equals to B, and sine inverse 0.74 would give you what?
47.73.
47.73 degrees, because it's an angle. And that is your answer for question 2, triangle 2. All right, so our last one for the night. What would you use for this one?
Cosine.
Cosine. All right, so you don't have enough information for you to use a sine, so or you don't have the right information to use a sine, so you have to use the cosine. So just to jot down the cosine rule is
A square
a squared is equal to
is equal to B
b
square plus
squared
C square
plus c squared minus 2
minus 2
bc
BC
times
times
cosine
cosine A.
A. Great. So let's figure out what is what now on this triangle. So this is our angle A, which is our angle X. So we know that this angle is going to have to be what is in the cosine right here, what we use with the cosine. So we can call this big A, which means that the opposite side would be little a, right? And then this can be B, that can be C, and we can skip away Mary. So little a is 6. So 6 squared,
C
all
square
right, let me use a color that is more legible. 6 squared is equal to 10 squared
6
plus
plus
9
9
squared
square
minus 2
minus
times
2 times 10
times
times
9
9
times cosine A.
8.
That's what we're trying to find, yes?
Yeah.
6 squared is 36. That's 6 times 6. 10 squared is 100. 9 squared is 81. Minus 2 times 10 is
20
20 times 9,
180
180. Minus 180 times cosine.
cosine A.
So 36 is equal to 181
81
minus 180 times cosine A. So the next step now, we're going to carry over this over here. So it's 36
36
minus
minus
181
180
equals to minus
was minus 145.
180 times cosine A. 36 minus
Yes.
181 gives you what?
Minus 145
Minus 145
is equal to
minus 145. And then you'd have to take over this number because it's being multiplied. You have to divide.
yes
You have
to
to see it's
divide
going to be divided. So it's divided by minus 180 cosine A. So now if you punch this in a calculator, you should get a positive number. Not so sure what the positive is. It's going to be a fraction decimal. 145.
0.80 or 0.81.
Yeah, 0.805. So we have 0.805 equals to cosine A.
A.
Good. So just need to take my space. So I'm going to come up top here. All right. So again, we have to now carry the cosine over, and it's going to be ended up being a inverse 0.805 equals to A. And so cosine negative, inverse, cosine inverse, or A cos,
Is it 36.389 or 36.39?
0.805, 36 point, so you can call it 36.39. degrees equals A. So bear in mind that as it is now, we are rounding it off to two decimal places. But when you actually get questions, they will sometimes tell you round it off to two decimal places or to one decimal places or give your answer to two significant figures or something like that. So even though we're just working with two decimal places now, just bear in mind that when you actually get the questions, they will most times tell you how they want the answer, how many decimal places are significant figures, all right? And whenever the question does
Okay.
that, pay attention to it because you know you're going to lose a mark if you don't give the answer how it is asked for, all right?
Okay.
So this is the question. This is the questions that you're going to that we're, this is where we're going to stop today, and we're going to pick up. Um, we're going to pick up.
On Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday. See, I'm getting foggy. It's late. I'm gonna set up
Miss, you could
the
have go back to number two, please, for 1 minute.
pardon?
Number two question. 2 minutes, I say.
Wait, sit. Oh, wait, wait. So I just wanted to show you where the questions are, so that you can okay. Just wanted to show you where the questions are, so that you can do some of them on your own. Some of the triangles to practice on your own. I'm just going to. It's in one of the documents that Sir sent into the in the group. Now the document, when it reaches sine and cosine, it has proof on it and stuff. You don't have to concern yourself with the proof. Just work some questions. So um, I'm going to finish my share.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you should be seeing a new screen now. So this is one of those documents that Sir had put in the group before. So you can start on page 11. Start on page 11, and all of these triangles, it says solve for the unknown angle, that's marked theta. You can go ahead, you solve for them, and on these ones it says solve for the unknown sides, and then this one says find the unknown angles and sides. So you can do these pages 11 and 12 throughout the week until we meet again on Saturday. We will go through some, not all of these, and then continue to work some questions to make sure that you are comfortable enough with the sine and the cosine rule. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is that. Thank you for your patience this evening, and either Sir or myself will